So Stan, all is not lost for your love life. As a woman, married a ghost. So maybe that's something
God.
you can do as well.
It can haunt you.
How depressed do you think I am? How desperate do you think I am?
Okay, I was going to say it's not depressed. It's fucking...
It's just a new category of women to turn Stan down.
Imagine that, Stan. You're lying in bed, you turn to your side and you're like, that's some fucking ghosty cheeks. And then she could just fade through the walls and disappear.
I'll have you know, I've never been turned down.
That's because you've never asked.
Hey, understand?
You missed every shot you don't take.
Hey, he'll come next week and be like, been turned down, boys. Ghost turned me down. I asked them and then they threw a can at me.
So the reason this is the story is actually because the woman has divorced the ghost.
What? Oh my God.
But
Double luck. Let's go, Stan. Rebound.
But I did a bit of reading. I thought it was quite funny, right? So she first met the devilishly handsome Eduardo.
Devilishly.
Sorry, I can't read. When he bust into the bedroom on one dark and stormy night. So this already sounds like
That's
some
romantic.
Yeah, this sounds like some fantasy she's had that she's just written. So apparently the ghost immediately announced his love for her. Basically, they got married last year.
That's a bit of a red flag, that is.
Yeah, and then she was apparently fuming at their honeymoon in Barry Island, old Barbados.
Wait.
Barry Bados.
Where are they from?
This was Wales online, so
Do you
it's
mean
Wales.
Barbados?
Pardon?
Fucking Barry
No, they
Bados.
went to Barry Island, but
Barry
we
Bados.
joke
Oh,
and
you
call
call
it
it
Barry
Barry
Bados.
Bados. Okay.
So
Stan, at least you're double lucky because it's in the country.
yeah, you could.
Mate, you could literally call out to the ether and be like, divorce ghost, on me. And then suddenly your butt's going to leak ectoplasm.
So yeah, apparently the ghost got too drunk at their honeymoon and she wasn't happy. And then there's basically loads of stories about how their relationship has deviated and now they're getting divorced. So I just thought that was quite funny.
I've got a better title for that newspaper. Mentally ill woman marries imagination.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I don't really have much else on that. But
That's really funny, mind you. Just like the idea of it. She could have said anything, but she went, oh yeah, he got too drunk and I wasn't happy about it. How the fuck is a ghost going to drink? What's he drinking? Spirits.
Maybe she committed fraud.
maybe. Sorry, I only just got that joke because I was trying to listen to Caddy.
Thank you, Stan. I'm glad you reacted.
It's quite. Their wedding is on TikTok and she's just stood there with like no one.
It's definitely fraud. She's 100% putting like her broadband or gas and electric in her husband's name.
Yeah.
But he fucking dead.
Bugged them off like.
Did she say, like, did the ghost have a name?
Eduardo.
Yeah, but full name. Has he got like a family?
He
like
took hers.
a bloodline and stuff like that? Like,
So apparently he's a Victorian soldier.
Oh.
that's fucking...
So
She knows how to pick them.
yeah, an old
Wait,
old
if it's
ghost.
Victorian, they used to fucking drink all the time, like, because tap water wasn't a thing. And water was so contaminated back then that they used to drink ale instead. So like, so he'd be able to handle his liquor. She's not thought this through. She's not thought this through at all.
His story's got holes like.
Yeah.
Well, so Stan, that's not Stan. What's your thoughts?
Mate, that's just a wild story. She straight up made that up, like, no, doing
Pretty much.
that's so weird. As well as like in the middle of the night, it's a stormy night, bam, right in the room, announces love. Oh, I want to marry that.
Does that sound hot?
She did a fucking full-on spready for him. He burst in. She was like, come on in, big boy.
Yeah.
That's
And then
not,
he went, I'm from the Victorian era. I'm going to take all your rights away.
that's just, it's not.
They didn't have rights back then.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like a measured reaction. Someone bursting in your room announcing their love. If it's a ghost, apparently it's fine.
If like,
I mean, if a person did that to you,
It'd be pretty.
yeah, it's a bit of a red flag.
Apparently, a ghost. That's just a different
Maybe she
culture,
got
I
swept
guess.
up in the moment, you know.
you wouldn't be ready if someone just burst into your room.
No,
He'd go, how the fuck did you get in here? How did you?
honestly, I don't know what I'd do. I want to say I'd freeze, but I don't know. I feel like there's a part of me that would the fight or flight instinct. I feel like there would be a bit of fight.
you know,
if it's my own
Stan,
territory, there's a bit of
Stan,
fight.
You know, freeze is part of fight or flight.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like It's like, I think if it happened outside, I'd freeze. But if it was in my territory,
Stan is a territorial animal.
I'm not saying my home.
This is my space.
territory.
The first thing
Back an
Stan
animal
just
into a
starts going.
corner. Don't go near my fingers. No, no. They're
Yeah,
mine.
she's like, but Stan, I'm real.
You're a ghost.
What's your favorite Genshin character, female?
That's a difficult question.
Hold on, is it the Raiden one?
Well,
He sat there with his waifu pillow right now. Don't worry, I'll protect you. You know, and I dive with him.
it's
That's
a
definitely
difficult question. I mean,
Or the ghost or the favorite character.
No, the
favorite characters.
Yeah, favorite character. Is
Which
there that
one
many?
gets you would go in?
I mean, that's. I mean,
That's an easy
That's
question.
personal.
That's an easy question. He's got the answer loaded. What is it? Go on.
nah.
Go on.
Nah.
It's Raiden, isn't it?
I mean, she's pretty cool.
Yes.
I mean,
Not to be.
to be pretty cool.
I meant in Genshin, like out of the.
Oh,
yeah.
Genshin.
I mean, I
Okay.
like the one on my shirt today.
Who is it?
She's Yai Miko. She's
I didn't even realize you had a waifu
Okay,
shirt on.
definitely.
Yeah.
What?
I didn't even realize you had a waifu
Please
shirt
tell me you
on.
have a Dakimakuru.
No, I don't.
Oh, can I
But
get
now
you
that
one?
I'm home alone,
Do you want to have one?
I could have. Before I was afraid of what my parents would think,
But now the parents aren't
but
around.
now the parents aren't there.
Oh, that just reminded me of the thing. I saw something. It was an image where it was like every time you masturbate, one of your like deceased relatives are watching you. And I'm like, imagine they're looking at Stan with his fucking waifu pillow and being like,
The other one I like is Ganyu. She has horns.
yes, yes.
I like horns, it turns out.
Fair enough.
Favorite though.
You just turn up to the office one day wearing horns
No,
and
it's not.
Stan.
Well, I like Raiden. She's got purple and the long hair. I
So
like the fox because Ari.
Yeah, but which one out of all those three?
But Ganyu was my
Yeah,
first.
but which one out of the three?
Here's his first one.
It's my face.
I
Oh
won't
my
lie to
God.
you. I went back to the game because I saw Ganyu.
I'm now starting to understand the monetization behind Genshin.
We
Yeah.
have-
I
we've
didn't
figured out
understand it
which
at
one.
first.
You find a character you like, and then you're gone.
I mean, somebody married a ghost. You could marry one of them.
And then the bottom half of his
You
Dakimakuru is
could,
crusty.
you could be sat there with Ganyu
That's
on.
horrible.
Ganyu could be on
true.
your computer and you could marry it.
No,
True.
no,
Why?
no. It's not. It's not real.
Are you sure? It
Yeah.
could be real.
I don't think so.
Love is real.
Love is real.
You could make it real. Get a waifu pillow and marry her.
I'll be honest, right? I reckon the waifu pillow would probably be the cleanest part of a degenerate's house.
What? Because they'll look
Most
after
of it. There'll be one
It's
space.
his
that's
waifu. He's
not.
got to look after it.
He smashes her back doors in. Like. there's a hole at the back that's not seen. Everything else pristine. That one bit.
Not good. Don't go near that
You
bit.
go over it with a black light and they'd just be like, oh, this is good. Oh, God. It would just shine up like a flashbang.
You remind. Well, I don't know. What, okay, so
Remind you
Why
of
did
what?
I remind you about
You
that?
remind me of my room.
I was reminded of they had big like
Boobs.
Dakimakia stalls at EGX. I remember that.
What is that? Is it just a
It's a
term for a
waifu
body
pillow.
pillow?
Yeah, Dakimakuru is a body pillow.
Is it the pillow part or is it the casing or is it just both?
Same thing. Right?
I don't really
I
remember.
think it's both, as long as it's got the character on the pillow.
Yeah.
I'm sure I told this story before, but we went to an anime convention and
Yep.
the boys were
Yep.
queuing for something and I have, right? And then I went off to just look around it and I walked into this room
Oh, I thought you were going to tell
and there's a bunch of
people.
people lying on the floor,
Oh.
like hugging
Yeah.
body pillows, like stroking the characters. And I've never 180'd and noped out of a room so fast in my life. I did
So
It
weird.
was so weird, like, because it was a public place.
That is a bit odd.
even if the women were real, and you walk in and you find men lying on the floor or women lying on the floor stroking women, you'd be like,
It's still weird.
like, nope.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the thing that happens, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, did you see it? It is weird.
It is strange.
Yeah. That was the one where I went with my dad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was.
What was that place?
It's in Cardiff. It's in one of the hotels.
Was it like
that way.
was it like an anime con?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like I thought it was like a Comic-Con sort of thing. So I was with my dad in Cardiff and I was like, oh, this thing's on. Like, should we fucking, because he likes different games and stuff. I was like, oh, should we just have a nose round? Thought it was like a Comic-Con. Thought it'd be a bit more. We got there and I was like, I regret this. I regret this so much. It was weird. It was a fun day out, but I'm going to do more research in the future before suggesting to go with my dad to go somewhere.
What did they have screenings of while we were there?
It was like weird anime and stuff. When we went into one of the rooms and there was like an anime playing, And I don't remember it this way, but Dale keeps saying that we sat down and it was basically like a girl going at it on herself in a bathtub. And I was sat there with my dad sat next to me and I was like, this is fucking awkward.
You missed the best part. Where your dad, like,
No, he didn't.
Didn't he?
He didn't actually do this.
Oh, okay. I thought that was. I've known that as a story now.
Yeah, I know.
That
It's been-
his dad basically covered his eyes as if to say
that
you
was
can't see
nothing.
it. But
It wasn't. I think somebody said it, and then I think it was Dale, and I guarantee you'd see this and you go, that 100% happened. It didn't fucking happen.
well, I can't confirm because the story I just told
walked
about the
in and
body
walked
pillows.
out.
That's why I went into this room. I saw it was on the TV, and I was like, nah, that's
Yeah.
not for me. Like, and then I ended up seeing worse.
It doesn't sound like you went to an anime convention. It sounds more like you went to the other type of anime
Yeah,
convention.
thought it was a normal one. It was in a big hotel. You have roam around. There were games and stuff like that, Tekken and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Wandered into the wrong room. Old people, basically, like, if the lights were off, I would have imagined all the dicks were out and they were going at it. Like,
I mean, if they're brave enough to stroke dakimakarus on the floor, they probably did have their dicks out. You just didn't know.
I didn't see any.
The sad thing is that those
smell
people,
it.
those people on the floor stroking those
thought the
dakimakas,
dad was busting dicks.
they have more confidence than I. I couldn't
Hey,
do
they
that.
have more
no,
confidence
no.
than me. I ain't fucking
No.
lying on the floor stroking a
Not
pillow in
confidence.
public.
They have less shame than you.
Oh, that's fair.
That's a better way to put it.
They are.
Yeah.
They have less shame than you and don't care.
That's fair.
Do not confuse shame for confidence, Stan.
I've learned a lesson today. Thank you, boys.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of what some would say shame, I'm assuming you've all seen the newest TikTok trend
I like
Nice
the
segue.
segue.
of
That was a good segue.
NPC streaming. So if you haven't, basically people pretend to be an NPC. So they'll have like an idle position and then people will send like emotes or you got to pay for them. They like pay for, say, a hot dog. And then that set streamer will have an action they'll do for that hot dog. And people spam these emotes and they just literally do an emote over and over again of like the different ones.
Why the hot dog, Glenn? Anything about the hot dog you've
So-
seen recently?
The glizzy one is the best because it started off with...
Can you do what the glizzy is?
I'm not doing the impression. But basically, it's like Pink Lady or Pink Doll. Some
Pinky doll.
Pinky Doll.
She's the French one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's the streamer, which I think she's the first, but she's the one that basically blew up with it all. And
She's the biggest
all
one.
the news, and she's the biggest one. And basically, supposedly, she's been making like $3,000 to $7,000 per stream. So for a few hours work, then also been sending people to her OnlyFans and making like silly money. So lots of people have just jumped on this trend and got on it. And some people are doing it like ironically. And when people drop the glizzies, they do the most over exaggerated, like basically sucking a cock.
They do
emotes
the
you can do.
grapefruit method.
Yeah. And it's those ones are really funny. So I don't know. Have any of you seen them? I know obviously.
Yeah,
Clive, we watched
I've
them.
seen the pricing for the stuff on TikTok
Yeah.
only because of these streams recently, right? They like the rose, the hot dog, all these different icons that pop up. They're a fraction of $1. They're like 0.07
So
cents.
are they fixed?
Or 7
like they
cents,
like
really.
a fixed TikTok price and you can't change it.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, somebody put up a graphic saying like this is what all of them cost. They're like 5 cents, 2 cents, 3 cents.
Yeah.
And for her to make $7,000, they are flying in.
Yeah, that's the thing. So whatever your opinion is on it, whether you think it's like shameful, you shouldn't do it, right? It is not easy. Like
Yeah,
some of them do it for 3-4 hours straight and they do not get time to breathe. They are absolutely spamming these emotes.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
No.
I don't see, you know, what's fun about watching it. It's fun for a little bit to be like, oh, I wonder what they do for the hot dog. I wonder what they do for the giant heart thing and stuff like that. And then once you see them all, you go, okay, I'm pretty much done here.
But that's the thing, see, because like I think it's fine as well, but because it's on TikTok and obviously unlike Twitch, it has like a huge algorithm.
Yeah,
like
there's always new people coming in.
Yeah, so some of these people are streaming to like 50k people, but that doesn't mean there's 50k people watching it for 3 hours straight. Each person might only watch it for a couple of minutes.
50k people changing out like every 30 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, and some, like I said, some of the ones are quite funny. And at the end of the day, it seems like a lot of people who jumped on it as well have made lots
It's
of
a
money.
weird performance art. It's nothing. it isn't really that much different to the guy in your local town that dresses up as a statue and does things when you drop money in it.
Yeah.
They're doing things when you drop money to them. So
They're just doing it.
it's not for me. I've never cared about the statues in public either.
Yeah.
But I understand what it is and just do whatever, innit?
Yeah. Are you guys seen anyway?
Yeah, I was just double checking before I said stuff. So I've seen stuff about it, and I don't care about the actual action itself because it's weird. It doesn't appeal to me, whatever. But apparently, there's a lot of stuff around her where people are saying it's feeding into like a kink for people. It's basically like from what I've said, seen. It's apparently something to do with like a kink for people for that, which a lot of people are going, this is an app for children and you're catering towards kinks, which is really weird. I don't quite understand how it works 100%, but there was that. But there's also the fact that she's like, I think she's like 27 or something, but she's said on Twitter, she's like 19. But there was like a tweet that got unearthed about her at one point saying she was a 15-year-old.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of stuff around that where obviously I've just tried to like check things and I've seen stuff about the 19. I'm not 100% sure about the 15, but people are saying like she's basically making herself look younger to try and like appeal to that kind of audience that kind of thirst after the young kind of childlike looking people with these things, and it's really fucking strange.
She does not look 19 though. I've literally seen a clip of her lecturing her kids doing it.
I'm only going off of what I've sort of looked at.
I don't know. I know there probably is people who have kinks of it, but like people have kinks of everything.
They do,
and you can't just like move your life away just because someone else finds it hot.
Well, no, but the fact that this is kind of like popped up and exploded out of nowhere. It's definitely, in my opinion anyway, an understandable worry to kind of go, this is like, how has this exploded? Is it just because it's weird? Is it just because of this? Or is it because of initially it being something that somebody was kind of doing to appease an audience? And then other people went, this is really weird, and then jumped on it? I don't know. It's
I think there was lots of stuff.
It is strange. There's a lot of weird things.
It's different, and even if it isn't for you, it's quite amusing to see it for like literally 10 seconds and be like, oh, that's quite a weird new thing. And then there was loads of stories like, do you ever remember Timbaland?
There's stuff about him with her as well.
Timbaland was apparently like her number one fan and has like sent her loads of money. So obviously that became an article, and then there was just lots of stuff like that, which I just became the next trend.
Things I was reading was saying that like he was kind of one of the people that was like going after because she was saying she was younger and stuff. Obviously, I've not like looked into it too much because I'll be honest, I don't really care. It weirded me out, and I went, I don't want to interact with this anymore. It doesn't.
It's definitely like since it appeals to, or it seems to appeal to such a large audience, definitely more than a kink at this point.
No, but I don't know. I think it still has some merit if that is a part of it to kind of go, this is a bit weird. Like
yeah, I mean, we all know it's weird anyway.
Yeah.
But.
Well, you'll see how much if they do, the views drop off in like a week or so.
Yeah, I'll start dropping off.
Because obviously a lot now is, people it seems like everyone's heard of it, so people go have a nose, check it out.
Yeah.
And then it'll probably like die off quite quickly.
I'd fucking rather die than do that for like 10 minutes, let alone 4 hours.
I mean, Speed and Kyro jumped on it, so it'll be dead soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think those two might have gone for quite long, but I saw other big streamers who tried it, and like after 10 minutes, they were just like, I can't do this anymore. Please.
I saw the Speed one because it was popped up on my TikTok, and like, it was weird. Like there was a lot of, he was playing a bit more into the kind of racial stereotypes where people would like send watermelons in, and he's acting towards that.
Jesus.
And then like a hot dog would appear, and he's like,
they go mental.
This is weird. Oh,
big busy one. Like.
Very, very weird.
Oh,
yeah, dude, the internet's fucking wild. It's weird because you cannot predict what is going to be the next big thing on there.
Yeah.
It's strange.
It is strange. Well, we can move on
Hold
go on.
Stan, anything to say about it? You've been quiet the entire time.
He's a big funder of these
What
streams.
is a glizzy?
Hot dog.
Hot dog.
But
It's also like
it's
a
what they
penis.
call them in America, but it kind of what they called on the internet.
What does a
nowadays.
hot dog look like?
A sausage. No,
Yeah, but
fine.
what does it look like?
A nice, beautiful,
say it looks like a
smooth
cock.
dick.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've never heard glizzy before. My
it's-
other thing was
Glizzy's been around for years now. Hasn't
I've
it?
Yeah.
never heard of it before. Like
Yeah,
recently.
you have.
You're not very savvy to the internet, though,
We've
Stan.
said glizzy.
I'll be
quite a
honest.
bit.
I'll be honest. When you told me about NPC streams, my mind went to. You guys have probably seen the videos of people trying to like pretending to be like GTA NPCs or Skyrim
Yeah.
NPCs, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I thought that's funny. I like that. And then you told me what it was, and I was like, oh
Yeah. Have you actually seen it?
no, I haven't actually.
These NPC streams have actually, I just realized, I think they've been around for way, way longer than that. It was
Yeah.
quite a big thing in
Asia.
yeah, Japan and Korea.
Because
where-
I realized we watched one before where there's a girl who's kind of like dressed up like an anime character and she's just like rocking back and forth like this. That's literally all that's happening on stream. And then a guy comes in and said something weird and it's really awkward. But I realized that was an NPC stream and that was like a year ago.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time. It literally just dawned on me that this is not new.
Yeah. It's just been like picked up
Maybe
recently.
it is going to stick around.
We're gonna.
Maybe, yeah.
No, that ain't to me
know.
at all. That's really weird.
Oh, I did see one funny comment on Twitter. There was just all these comments of being like, it isn't for me, it isn't for me. And then there was one and it had loads of likes. And it was like, this isn't really for me, but I'd be lying if that growl doesn't do something for me. But yeah, so not something I don't think we'd normally talk about much, but recently, obviously in the news everywhere, it's been about the Hollywood writer strikes. So lots of big films and TV shows have stopped production. So supposedly it's the biggest writer strike in 60 years. Like 170,000 people are currently not working due to the strike.
We briefly spoke about this one in the last one.
Okay, but the bit that I thought was more interesting, and we can skip it if you did speak about it, is the point about AI taking over their jobs. And that's apparently one of the key points that they're pushing. So they're worried about like, I don't know, fucking Universal just goes into an AI tool and it's like, all right, we need a movie with a rock in it. And then it spits out the whole script or whatever. And then they don't need writers. But not that this is like, I don't know what my opinion is on it. But one thing I found interesting is I've always worked in industries where automation is constantly getting better and better and better, and so it's in like chemical plants, right? And the workforce on those plants is almost constantly shrinking, to the point where like I've been on a site that used to have like 1,500 employees, and then it was, when I was there, it was down to like 180. So I don't know, in that sense, from manufacturing, like advancement in technology is so normal for, I don't know, and then people, I guess, ultimately lose their jobs, which is sad. But I just thought it was interesting how with the AI, because it's the same with the AI art, right? I don't know, there's such more of a protest.
Do you want to know something that is quite fascinating?
What?
You've probably heard of the program BoJack Horseman.
Yes.
But it's a really good program. But anyway, the point is, there's a certain series, I think it's like the second series or third one, where he's filming a film. Like he's starring as the main actor in this film.
Yeah.
And at the very start of it, they take pictures of his front and sides and everything like that and get everything. And they're like, okay, so this is just for like, basically, so if we need a motion capture or something like that, we can like make your face and do the film without you. And the whole thing goes on. He disappears halfway through filming and he comes back and they're like, yeah, movie's done. And then he's like, I wasn't in it. It was like, yeah, but we basically made we filmed the rest of it and made you in the computer, like do it all. And and it was all essentially with AI. And this was years and years and years ago that this came out. And it then goes on that like his performance was so incredible in the film that they ended up reshooting the entire thing with this AI thing, like basically AI. And he's like there, like, none of the minutes he's put in acting was actually on screen. It was all just this thing. And I was like, this is fucking weird that this program years ago came out with this storyline, which is basically the concerns that they have now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I've seen reports of them doing this stuff of like, you know, using AI to fill in things. And I'm like, this is fucking wild. This is so
They
like
did it with
crazy.
Leia and Tarkin, right? Around the same time.
I think so.
Yeah, it'll come to the point where like actors, because they're already saying it now, these up and coming actors, the companies are asking them to sign away the rights to their face.
Yeah.
And they're like, no,
okay.
you need to sign contracts like you can only use my likeness for this project, nothing else.
There is, if you guys haven't seen it, the newest season of Black Mirror, I think it's the first episode, takes a darker twist of that signing away likeness and using an AI sort of thing.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it basically replaces them, doesn't it?
Yeah, makes them do
Things they
messed up
wouldn't do.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it like we've seen how far AI has grown in the last year alone with how insane it, like remember when the AI art came around and everybody dunked on it because it was awful, and now to a point there's still things you can call out, like the hands aren't right, certain things aren't right, but you could basically have an AI art that people would completely believe was made by a person. And even I think it's called like Secret Invasion or something, one of the new Marvel
Secret
films.
Invasion,
The opening.
intro,
The whole opening was made
all
by AI. Yeah.
and it looks dog shit.
It looks awful.
It's
But like
so bad.
companies are getting to the point where they're happy enough to do that, and you think in another year, how far is that going to go? Like deepfakes was years ago, and now, and back then it was kind of, they would just basically put a face on an already existing person, but now they're kind of fucking believable.
I mean, it was still scary then. It's
Yeah,
only gonna
it
get
was terrible
scarier.
then, and it's like, and it was a really big problem then, and now it's like even worse.
I don't know if AI can ever like be creative. Like everything that AI does is based on
It's
something
based on
that
other
someone's
people.
already done. So it's not making anything new. I think true innovation and creativeness will always come from an individual.
I'd
But
agree, but
I think people are just like older industry is going to have to work alongside AI to make new things. Apparently the anime industry has been using AI for a lot longer than we think.
yeah, they used to like use it to like fill in certain points and stuff
Fill
like
in
that.
frames.
Yeah. But like,
I mean, interpolation's always been a thing,
yeah, it's,
even though it kind of looks, I think it kind of looks shit on
I don't
anime.
know, like I'm just wondering, like another year or two, even going so far as 10 years time, how advanced would it be, and how kind of exploitative will some of these companies be?
It'll be very exploitative. I still think that an artist with hand-drawn stuff will always look better.
Oh
than
yeah,
AI.
100%. But like, even because I just remembered as well, like just like the voices, like AI voices and stuff. You've probably seen them on TikTok now, where one of the fucking most popular one is they've taken like Plankton's voice from SpongeBob and made him sing loads of different songs. And it fucking sounds good.
I find those
Actually
fun.
sounds good.
They are very fun.
And I'm like,
Scary if it took your voice and sung some like
yeah, exactly.
disgusting shit, but
And you could easily have it like we spoke about Ryan Reynolds with the whole Tesla thing before.
oh, it's so
It was
cringe.
really bad. If it was the voice only, it might have sounded a little bit more believable. And I'm like, yeah, this is fucking scary territory. If they wanted to, make somebody sign a contract, do all of this, and I completely fuck them over and make them unable to talk about it and anything because of all this. And I really hope the writer's strike does
It's very
something.
scary. Very, very scary.
There's a lot of
possibilities,
people being like unsupportive of the writer strikes because writers earn more than them, and I think it's just super super dumb to not be able to empathize with people just because they earn a bit more than you. It's like if these writers lose the strike and earn dog shit money, what do you think is going to happen to jobs that earn less than that? Those get even worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's people who are like really bitter and jealous, and they're like, I don't earn more, so they shouldn't. And it's like, well,
There's always been
then
like that,
you should
isn't
do
it?
the same thing.
Yeah.
You should be striking. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. to
It's
try and
also,
earn
it
more.
works the opposite way as well. When someone earns less than you and that person asks for more and they go, well, no, because you'll be on the same level as me, so you don't deserve it. It's
Yeah,
like,
and they're
no,
yeah, you should be earning
it's
more
like
as well.
you should be earning more and they should be earning more. Don't put down someone else so that you play into the hands of some fucking mega rich,
Yeah.
like filthy dickhead.
Just oh God, there's too many people who are like that. I can't have this, so you shouldn't.
As well, like Ron Perlman was like, he defended them, and people are like, oh look, a millionaire, like don't pretend to be on their side. You're rich, and it's like,
so
it's so telling if you cannot empathize with someone just because you are not in that position. That's what they're saying. Like, Ron, you're rich. How can you empathize? That's a self-report.
And you think as well, it's like if this person who is mega rich is saying that this is a problem as well, then you kind of want to listen a bit more, because it's gone to the point where it's affecting the people who are really rich. So you're like, okay, this is definitely a big problem.
Yeah.
Right? It's weird that these cogs aren't ticking in their heads and they're not working out what's going on with this. It's really fucking bizarre.
I think that any strike in any industry that is for the benefit of workers will always be the better course of action.
Thing. Yeah.
Not for, I don't know, I just don't know why people defend millionaires and billionaires.
They're just desperate, and
it ain't gonna be you, bro. They're literally the 0.00% of the population.
I guess it depends. I don't know if, like, it'd be really cool if hopefully the strike goes well and it works out for everyone. They get better working conditions and stuff. But then, I don't know, like, for example, I know, you know the docks in Southampton, right? So they used to be in Liverpool, and Liverpool used to be like one of the main docks in the country.
Yeah.
And this was back before they had like all the automated like crane systems and everything. Mm-hmm. So when they tried to bring that in, the unions obviously campaigned against it. And I was like, you can't have that because more people will lose their job. And they won. So initially it was better for everyone at the docks. But then they built the dock in Southampton with all the new technology, and ultimately the docks in Liverpool ended up closing and everyone lost their jobs. So it's like, I don't know, it's there, you know, sometimes there is like pros and cons, and it's the same as like, say in America, they win, right? Which would be awesome. I'm on about just the AI stuff, not the working conditions, right? So say they win and it's like, I don't know, say America like completely banned AI, for example. But then there can be another country which is like, oh, we don't care. We'll use it, and then they work alongside it, and then maybe like, I don't know, for every one movie like they can make in America, they pump out like 100 in the other country, and
but
they only need one of them to be good or whatever. It's interesting
with
just
the
how it
docks,
works.
You can see why long term that like everyone lost, right?
Yeah,
I don't see long term a way in which workers win if AI comes around. The only people that win would be software engineers that work alongside AI. Software engineers who are also artists. That work
so that's what I mean. It's like it would create new jobs, but normally what happens is the amount of new jobs it creates is significantly less.
Yeah,
which does.
But you're also talking about an industry which is just pure manual labor, and an industry that is creative.
I suppose that's different because I've never really worked in like a creative industry, right? So I've never really seen it in that way, which is interesting. That's why I thought it was really interesting, because before I've always seen it in a way as, you know, you're like, oh, well, we can do this now, so it's more automated. That's better. Whereas with creative stuff, you can see how
you can't make an AI be creative, you know? Yet, at least.
Yeah.
I think if you make an AI creative, you're getting pretty close to like sentience, you know?
Yeah.
Have you seen the people who are scabs for this?
What do you mean?
For the strikes, where they're being like, there was a TikTok guy who, it was a TikTok guy, I don't know. He was putting out videos of being like, guess who's got offered a brand new TV deal? Let's go. And he's like, oh, I've been offered like huge amounts of money to go make a TV show for people. And they're like, you're a scab because you are.
Oh, is this the people that benefit as the result of people striking?
Yeah. Oh, well, so they've hired new people and stuff.
They basically go into like online entertainers like influencers and stuff like that and offering them TV deals to make content because stuff's not coming out now because of the strike.
Yeah, it's tough, and it's
and
tough
he's
situation.
Like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm gonna make money, and everyone's like, you're a fucking idiot. You're never gonna be able to work with people. Like, none of the people in the strike are ever gonna respect you after this point because you're gonna be basically going against the strike that's happening.
Tough with something like Hollywood though, because I don't know, the general consensus is right. Like any job in Hollywood is like really hard to break into. So, obviously for some people, they might have been trying for like 10 years and then the strike happens. And I guess it can be morally wrong if they take the job, but a lot of people are going to struggle to turn that down if they've spent like so much of their life being like, this is my dream to get into that industry, and
I
then there's the
suppose-
opportunity.
Yeah,
you know?
but then you're kind of going in, like you're taking a shortcut in through. That's a detriment to other people.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's already nepotism in Hollywood anyway.
I
So
suppose there's the bragging part about it as well. I get needing to make that bread.
Yeah, people will
but
hate
bragging about it's.
but
Oh,
you know,
bragging about it is
Yeah.
on the
is
other hand as
terrible,
well,
like-
people will forget about it,
Yeah.
especially if they
Yeah.
break out. But there's also people who are part of guilds who actually are not allowed to join strikes as well. So when opportunities come up, they have to take the opportunities.
Oh, this
okay.
guy wasn't.
Oh, yeah, probably not.
But was this guy like flat out bragging about like I mean, that's just
And
a
everyone
douche
was
thing,
like,
innit?
nobody's heard of you. How the fuck are you
yeah.
getting this? And also, like, you are doing a horrible thing. Like, oh, yep, sounds about right. Yeah, it's fucked. It's a really awkward, weird situation.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see like how it again just the AI part, how it turns out, and just to see it, because I just find it really interesting because I've never really thought about it that way, and
Yeah.
I really don't have like an opinion on it
I
at the
mean-
moment. So it would be cool.
Those train strikes we had, there was never a resolution to that, was it?
No, I mean we have train strikes all the time at the moment.
I mean, our government at the moment is just like give nothing to nobody. I think they know they're going to lose, so they're sort of in the position where they got to make it as bad as possible.
Yeah.
So the next government looks like they caused it,
Yeah, that
and then they
makes
win
sense.
again. So no,
Yeah.
I don't think any strikes are going to win at the moment.
Because it went on for ages, and there was that dude who, I can't remember who it was, the like head of it that was like, everybody liked, you know, everyone who wasn't affected by the strikes.
Was his name Mitch? Was it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, we're not going to give up. And I've not heard anything about train strikes for the longest time.
He also campaigned for Brexit.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, they still definitely be doing train
he kind of
strikes.
fucked himself, I guess.
But
Yeah.
yeah, the train strikes are quite a good example in the UK though, because it's really easy. Like I used to commute on the train, and you have strikes, and you're like, for Christ's sake, like this is annoying. You know, get to work. It is a pain. But then you look at the working conditions and like the pay for most jobs, and most people on the like trains, the jobs are paid quite well in comparison to jobs not on there. And then you realize the reason is because they have the unions and because they strike. So although you might be on the train and you're like, oh, strikes tomorrow, that sucks. The real mugs are the people not doing the same as them because they're getting the benefits from it.
Yeah,
So
it's bad, no?
it is, yeah. Well, unless anyone got anything else about that? No?
I hope it works out for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine this not
These-
to know. But
These companies profit every single year. The least they can do is lift their workers alongside them.
don't get to be a billionaire that way, though.
Nah, you don't get to be a billionaire without crushing people along the way.
Yep. Well, I'd like to say the next one is a bit more positive, but it's not. So
Well,
there
alright
is
then.
a YouTuber,
Oh,
Zavgirl,
God,
or as
yeah.
I've written, Zavgirl, which makes true crime videos. Now, I think, I'll be honest, I haven't gone and like watched loads of videos, but basically I think it's the stuff where they'll cover like a murder, right? And then they'll describe the whole process and how they caught and blah, blah, blah. Well, they had a Patreon and they covered a story where an 11-year-old boy was murdered by his stepmother. And they used the Freedom of Information Act to basically get the autopsy files from like the US authorities. And they put that behind the paywall of their Patreon for like $3. So essentially they were selling the autopsy report for $3. And obviously the family and that found out. And they were they're like, well, it's disgusting the fact that you're selling it, but also it's horrible because kind of like the stories resurface and they kind of like, you know, reliving obviously the horrible thing that's happened.
There's got to be some illegality to that.
Well, so I think legally she can get it. I don't know about the selling. So Patreon of Bander, like her account is gone off Patreon.
Yeah.
YouTube channel and stuff is still there. But she's done an apology. I haven't watched the apology, but I've read some reviews from it and they were basically like,
Fucking apology reviews.
she's not, well, it's in the article.
Oh my God.
It's in
Glenn,
the article.
I need to set up a website
Yeah.
in
my
which
word.
it's like apologyreviews.com or something like that. Right. And it's just a site where
Yeah.
people post apology videos they get from YouTubers, and everyone just fucking reviews it. Like 10 out of 10. Great apology, sounded genuine, and you got like 0 out of 10, did mean it, wrote a fucking ukulele song, you know?
Yeah. Well, there is quite a few YouTubers who have done like apology tier lists.
Oh my God, someone has to make a website.
Yeah. So
The amount of bank you can make, just put some fucking side ads as well. Oh, money.
yeah. So it sounded like they weren't like apologetic really, and they were saying that basically the autopsy and stuff has benefit because of, you know, like scientific stuff and all that. But I think most people's issue is the fact that she was selling it, you know, and trying to make money off it. But yeah, as I said, they've been banned from Patreon. They're still on YouTube, but that is pretty much that. So it's not a very nice story. I don't know if any of you got any thoughts or opinions.
Just kind of
True crime channels are kind of fucked up depending on which one it is. I mean, people like really get off on true crime shit, and it's some people are really weird about true crime stuff. But I think, right, if someone has died recently, don't do a fucking topic on it. Like, I feel like a family should be able to grieve before you start making videos about like a case about an 11-year-old boy that was killed by this. It's like, fucking hell, man. And I think the worst part is that, and you can see how crazy these people are, where they use the Freedom Act, Freedom of Information Act, to get autopsy files. That's how weird true crime people are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of steps put in there to get to where they got, and it's quite.
Like you first you record the video and you go, am I going too far? Don't know. Then you watch it and edit it and you go, am I going too far? Or I don't know. Then you go and use the Freedom of Information Act to get an autopsy. Am I going too far? Like at that point, you're starting to go, wow, things are getting slowly fucked up here.
Sorry. It wasn't just, it was photos as well. It's not just like a report. Like, the report includes photos.
Yeah.
Like graphic images and stuff.
And then she
not
puts
nice.
the autopsy report on her Patreon that people pay money to access, and still doesn't go, have I crossed the line? There's so many steps you got to go through to be before, like, somewhere along the line you go, man, this is fucked. But like, I guess when you've done that much true crime, like, they must be so numb.
Yeah, I guess you get like numb to it.
Yeah. Like, it was the father, right?
Yeah, it's the father of the child who basically spoke out saying, you know, this is wrong, and you've brought a lot of like bad memories back to the family and stuff.
Like, they're hurt, they will never get over it. I could understand if they made a video on it and it had been like a decade since then. I don't know what the time frame is, maybe 2 decades. But it's just like way too fresh.
Yeah, I get same thing. I wouldn't know a time frame off my head, but like if you think of, I don't know, like Charles Manson or something, like back in the 80s or whatever, I don't think anyone really has any issues of like documentaries or stuff on that. But if it's like stuff that happened last year, yeah, it does feel a bit wrong.
I think especially because I find true crime quite interesting in places.
But I understand
more
why
curiosity, but I think there is definitely a way you go about it that can still be respectful and informational.
No, I understand why it's like
doesn't
you know,
seem so.
intriguing, right? It's why, like, you go and like, why did the person do this? How the fuck did this happen? You know, it's just one of those things that people will always find fascinating. But to do it on something so recent and show absolutely no sensitivity to the family, like, that's why I don't like most true crime YouTubers.
No, it's completely valid. Like,
It is an absolutely fascinating topic, though, isn't it?
It definitely can be. It just it really depends on how that person covers the topics.
Yeah. Sorry, you mentioned autopsies and selling and stuff, and it reminded me of something recently that I saw where there was a game from 2016, around there anyway, that had come up again because Markiplier had played it back then, and there were jump scares in that game, and the jump scares like were photos that appeared of like different things, and there were 2 of them which were real actual photos and they were fucking gory as shit. And one of them was an autopsy. It was like a picture of an autopsy And like literally this picture just appears on the screen as a jump scare in front of you. And it's literally just a full-on graphic autopsy happening.
Did Markiplier ever like find out about that?
Yeah, recently, and he like removed it recently. It was like on TikTok, and I swear, and I went, what the fuck? So I looked up the video, and this was like a week or two ago. And yeah, literally you're going through it, and there's like a face that pops up. That's somebody's actual face that apparently was like a picture of somebody who'd be tortured by like the cartel and stuff and had their face ripped off.
Fuck,
Which is really fucked.
Did they censor in the video?
No. This was 2016. Man.
No, they wouldn't censor in the video
This was
because
in the game.
I would assume Markiplier would be like, this is drawn.
Yeah, it's like part of the game. Like,
But for it to be real,
They were,
that's
the two
messed up.
were
that
allegedly
game dev
real.
is fucking psychotic.
And yeah, so there was an actual autopsy and then an actual like person who was still alive without their face put in that game like, as literally as a cheap jump scare that just popped up for like 2 seconds and then disappeared.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, this is fucking horrendous. This is a game you could buy. I think it was on Steam.
This
and
is
stuff, and I'm like,
it's unfortunately
this
the
is
second
insane.
game I've heard of that this has happened. I saw
Really?
like it's like a disturbing things found in video games sort of video like a little while back. Apparently, a really old game was on.
what was it
I
called?
forgot what the game was called, what console it was. But apparently, the game over screen was a picture of an actual dead body,
Oh,
and people didn't really
Yeah,
know
that's
what it was at the
horrendous.
time. And then they traced the picture back, and turned out it was a dead body.
That's mental.
And it was an old game as well that I think was sold in stores.
Like, I can understand if you would got that picture from, I don't know, like a stock website, and the stock website didn't know that a dead
Yeah.
body had been posted, but to knowingly do it, you're a
They
fucked up
fucked
individual.
up.
I don't think they like took the picture themselves. I think they found the picture.
That's
It
what I
was a-
mean.
it
Like,
was a dead
so
body, yeah.
sometimes stock images sites they all allow users to upload to it.
yeah.
So I could understand if they got the stock image that a user put up that was an actual dead body, and you then buy the stock image not knowing it's a dead body, you think it's acting.
Yeah.
But I know to actually use a real one that you got off like Google or something, you fucked.
The game that he'd played through was called The Hospital.
Yeah.
And it was it was a really shit game, but it was so bizarre, so fucking weird to see that. Because I was watching through it, and if I hadn't have already known this, I would have gone, oh right, okay, that's something somebody's made. But nah, it was so fucking real. And this person's fucked, and that person's fucked, and it's horrendous.
Yep.
Don't get why people think that it's okay to do
I
that.
don't know, like not even taking into account like what you might do to somebody if they found out that was actually real. Like fair enough, a game is scary, but to be shown like real images of dead bodies
The scar.
can harm people.
Yeah. Like I know a lot of people, myself, I'm completely numb to all of that because I used to go on like Live Leak and all that when I was younger because I was just fascinated by all of it. So I'm kind of numb to it at this point.
When
But,
the
like,
internet
there are a lot
first
of
came
other
out as
people.
well, people would trick you into seeing that stuff too.
The amount of gore I've seen when I was younger was horrendous.
I don't think I'm numb to it, but there are definitely ones that are still vivid in my mind that I had unfortunately seen.
Oh god, they were like, I don't.
I
Want
won't.
to say the
I won't
actual videos and
describe
stuff.
any of mine, but
But, like-
it is ingrained.
There was a certain video that I felt sick to my stomach when I watched it. Still now it's fucking horrendous. But yeah, as you were saying, like when it first came around, like the internet stuff, you would see it everywhere.
People would laugh it off too.
Yeah, and I mean, it's either that or crying. It.
Yeah.
But at this point, and Glenn's laughing at that. Nice one, Glenn. But yeah, at this point, I just kind of numb to it. But like, there's a lot of other people, like Goatsy, for instance. I see that and I'm just like, oh, it's just the fucking dude's arsehole, like whatever. But I showed it to Gary and he threw up.
Whenever I play Zelda,
Yeah.
obviously
Oh, I know
the
what
shrines,
you're
I
on about.
constantly would say, "Wait, Goatsy," and then there'd be people in chat going, "What's Goatsy?" And I go, "Oh fuck, don't."
Don't look it up.
I'm like, "Oh my god, please don't look at porn, please."
me and Dale showed Gary Goatsy and he literally threw up.
Wow.
He ran to the toilet and threw up immediately. He was so put off by it.
Yeah, well, Stan wouldn't watch the hair cream thing.
Have you ever seen Goatsy?
I have vaguely seen it.
You wanna see it?
No, I do not.
Did you throw up when you saw Goatsy?
I when I say I've vaguely seen it, like I know roughly what it looks like. I didn't like look at it, and I don't want to.
You didn't look
at
into
it.
his soul?
No.
Oh man, I looked right into that soul.
It's like I've seen it kind of. So like if I saw the blood image, I'd be like, I know what that
Mate,
is.
that guy he must have worked his arsehole, because to stretch it that wide without tearing, you know what I mean? He's had some big objects up there, or had some big objects out.
Oh god.
Don't look it
Well,
up.
while Sam searches for the image to show Stan,
I don't want to see it. No.
so Nintendo finally did something good.
Did they?
Hey.
Unfortunately, it is for a sad story.
For a horrid story, yes.
A horrible story. So basically, there was a 15-year-old girl who met a 28-year-old man on Omegle,
Uh-oh.
and they started talking and getting more friendly and everything. And without going into too much horrible detail, eventually the old guy from Omegle like kidnapped her. So she was missing for 11 days, and the authorities like couldn't find her. They had no idea. And basically one of the girl's friends saw that she had logged into Nintendo Switch online. And she basically told the police like, oh, look, my friend is appearing online on a Nintendo Switch. And the FBI contacted Nintendo, and then they worked together and figured out like where the Switch was.
Does that mean she wasn't kidnapped? Well, she was kidnapped, but she was basically being groomed, right? For her to have access to a Switch, she was...
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit grim. So...
Man, you've really found some...
Heavy
fucking
topics.
Yeah.
That's a bit rough today.
Yeah, so it essentially like grooming, and then I don't know. Yeah, let's just kidnapping.
Before we carry on, Stan.
I don't want to see it, Sam.
Stan.
No, I don't.
Stan, you ready?
No, I do not.
He drew it. Stanley drew it.
I don't believe you.
I promise you he's drawn it.
100%.
Hold on.
I don't believe it.
Stan.
I've never lied to you, Stan.
Stan.
He's drawn it.
We play
Stan, look.
deception games.
Okay,
Before
take a
my
glimpse.
phone locks,
Just take a
look.
glimpse. See? He drew it.
There you go. You can show the camera.
Okay.
Wow, that's a nice drawing of an apple, Sam.
Oh,
Mate, I wouldn't show you that without you being all right with it.
At least that story had a good ending.
Yeah. No.
Interesting that. It reminds you that all these companies know where you are.
Oh
you know?
yeah, but
On the other hand, I don't really care if Samsung or 3, my mobile provider, know where I am.
I tell you what's quite.
The police found her through that.
Yeah,
Through
that.
Nintendo. So they contacted
Yeah.
Nintendo to find out where she was, because she had logged into
That's
a Switch.
insane.
And then basically Nintendo worked with them, and they were like, yeah, the Switch is in like this
Good
area.
lord. The dude was arrested and everything then, yeah?
Yeah. But one interesting thing about that, this was a while ago, but basically, WhatsApp, their messages are encrypted. So the current UK government basically want WhatsApp to like take away the encryption so they can have like full access for it. But our previous Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, who basically broke like every COVID rule imaginable, the authorities currently want to see his WhatsApp conversation on his phone.
Really?
And he's like, nah. But he's someone who campaigned so that the government could have access to everyone's WhatsApp.
Dude,
But he won't hand over his own WhatsApp. Now he's in trial.
By the time this goes out, he would be well over 2 weeks late to handing in his phone.
yeah.
Like I don't understand how he can't be punished with a crime. He's literally they've given him a deadline to hand in his phone, and he's gone, nah.
Yeah.
Like, why is he above the law?
Because he's rich.
Yeah,
Probably like.
yeah. But like, if I did that, I'd be in jail.
Probably.
Like, if the police sent in a request for your information and give you a deadline for it, and I went, nah, I'd be in jail.
Yeah. Unless
It
you.
is fucked up.
Yeah. Unless you like,
Absolutely.
I don't know. If you were like Mr. Beast, maybe not.
I could see him go, nah, he wouldn't get away with it. Nah.
Nobody's that powerful enough.
Only a politicians are.
Billionaires.
Yeah.
Do you know there's like over 200 billionaires in the UK? It's fucking wild, no?
There's a lot.
That's fucking...
Imagine what we could
Disgusting.
do if we took like 1% of their money from them.
Just fucking kill them and take care of them.
Yeah, let's not do
innit?
that.
Eat the fucking rich.
Eat the rich. Oh, well, we can move on to a topic that we were actually discussing before we started.
Wait.
Speaking of
So
eating the rich.
Twitter is now called X or X.com.
For all the
So,
porn, right?
and that's as of today, yesterday? It's new, right?
Stupid. It's stupid is what it is.
That guy is a fucking moron.
So from what I understand, the overall plan is for ages, Elon Musk wants to create what he refers to as an everything app, which is basically, if you've ever heard of it, a copy of WeChat in China. So it's like one app where you do your messaging, you do like your Facebook in, your tweet in. It's even banking, so you pay with WeChat. And that's his plan, and supposedly the reason why he bought Twitter in the first place. So this is like the first step of trying to rebrand to that. But I know people have concerns because typing in x.com sounds a bit sus, right? You just assume that was a dodgy website.
Yeah, you bring up your porn, aren't you, Glenn?
Well, yeah.
I've already seen a Twitter post. He's like, hey guys, look, x.com works, but in the title bar, there's x.com and right below is xvideos.com.
I mean, there was the thing where it was like, it's not going to be a Twitter video anymore. What's it going to be? An X video?
Yeah.
Kid, like, what the fuck?
It just sounds
He's a
dumb.
moron. He's an actual buffoon. We are watching somebody waste millions upon millions of
Billions.
dollars, billions of dollars. And he's an actual moron. This is a prime example that you don't have to be smart to be a billionaire. You just
Literally,
have to
right.
exploit people.
Listen to this, right? So
Fucking moron.
Elon wanted to call PayPal X.com back in 1999. A former PayPal executive noted that the founders felt branding would be an issue because of the pornographic associations with the letter X. Right?
Back then as well.
Yeah. Then he was ousted from PayPal, and Peter Thiel took over PayPal. And they did not go with X.com. Like, was he doing? Holding a 20-year grudge?
Apparently.
Like, I'll show you it works. Look at it, fucking X.com will make it an everything app too.
It wouldn't have been as bad if you went EX, as in he wrote it like EX instead.
It's so hard. Can you think of companies that are a single letter?
No. Imagine Facebook was just an F.
It's just
I can think of logos that are a single letter, but they refer to a company that is longer.
Yeah.
It's insane.
The closest I can think of is O2, but even that is 2.
Yeah.
I can't think of a company that is a single letter.
you got EE.
But that's EE,
It's
innit?
EE. It is one letter,
And
but it's
E-
two letters.
EE is short for its full name.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Same.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I'll find out.
But and even the other thing, obviously, one part of he spent all the billions, right, to buy it. And a part of that is the money for the branding, because it's known. Because I think even the Oxford Dictionary recognizes the word tweet.
Electrical engineering. There you go.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it's quite interesting.
It seems just beyond stupid. I don't think anyone wants this.
That
But
might just
him.
be the short term for it. What does it mean for? Sorry, everything everywhere is what they're
Oh.
called. They used to be called everything everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
They used to. Now they're the electronic one.
No, that was just what EE meant as in general. But
Oh.
even then, these companies are 2 letters and the branding behind them is strong. But there is a pornographic. X is very, very associated with pornographic material.
There's a heavy undertone.
And I understand that like an everything app could work, but not with Elon behind it.
No.
Contrary to popular belief, he's not even that popular at this point, but
It's a loud
he is
minority.
not a fucking genius.
Yeah, the thing is he obviously, if you to have an everything app, like if you see how the uptake of WeChat is massive, right? And like, he's not going to be able to get that if he keeps doubling down on being like, oh, we're the app, but you can do whatever, there's no rules. Like, we don't ban people for saying terrible stuff. So I don't understand what his play is. Like.
Yeah, it's they keep going on about like, oh, you can not unlimited everything, but they constantly restrict your access to stuff. They restrict how many DMs you can send a day. They did that stupid rate limit and shit. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, we're the free speech place, but then he censors anyone that calls him a fucking tosser.
Oh, it's free speach
Elon
unless
Musk.
he doesn't agree
You're
with
a
it.
fucking tosser. You are dumb as shit.
I can't
That's
remember
an
who the
adult
guy
now.
was today. He took the piss out of Elon.
Yeah.
It was really tame. And then his post got taken down for hate speech. And the X itself, as we found out today, is the Unicode X. It's public domain, so we can't copyright it.
So it literally his logo cannot be copyrighted.
Nope. He needs
Stupid as fuck.
he needs a new logo.
Reminds me of that guy. Remember that dude who me and Matt called stupid and he threatened to dox us and kick our teeth in? Reminds me of that dude. Fucking dumb as shit.
He's so dumb. I wish people would stop being so disillusioned by him. Like, he's not a genius. He's bought his
He's just enamored by money.
yeah. He had an upbringing where money was basically part of his life,
Because he had a fucking
and he
blood diamond.
bought his way into every company that he's ever been a part of, apart from that fucking flamethrower company he made and boring company.
It's really funny how like no company has headhunted him or wanted him. He's had to buy his way in. Fucking full on loser. Like, imagine like no one actually wants you unless you've given them fat amounts of money.
He got ousted from PayPal.
Actual loser behavior.
For
That's
trying to
funny.
call it what he's calling Twitter.
No, it wasn't because he was trying to call it X.com, but
It's more than that.
there was more
That
like
was
they
one of.
they got rid of him for other reasons.
CEO, like,
But like if they could go, oh well, it has this undertone to it. And he's had 20 years to think about it. And he's go, no. And porn's only just gotten bigger.
yeah, of course there is. And dicks have only
You would
gone
know,
big.
wouldn't you, Stan?
Oh yeah.
Fucking AI porn. He's been watching this guy new every
But you've thrown me.
20 years and he couldn't
See,
come up with a better name. Like,
I mentioned Ganu and he's fucking gone. He's like,
gone.
I'm
Look
can't
at him.
wait.
He can't do anything.
Can't wait to see my girl.
I'm trying to find the tweet the guy got.
I'm
It's-
gone. I don't know.
That
what
he got
I was gonna
banned
say.
for.
I'm
Yeah.
gone. It is absolutely gone.
Stan is done.
No, I don't know. Elon's
Hold on, boys.
He's a bit of a no.
He's wrecked.
I genuinely, I can't wait for Elon Dick Riders to be in our comments today, being like, he's rich, so he has to know something. It's like, well, I can't believe it's going to come out of my mouth, but I'm richer than you, so sit down, boy. Clearly, I know more than
Well,
you.
I mean, if the rich know more, then why was I've forgotten who it was who, about the writers' strike? Why was he say, "Oh, you can't do
Yeah,
this"? Oh, well,
yeah.
But like, money doesn't equal intelligence because why am I so dumb?
I remember what I was gonna say.
Oh.
It's like I thought Elon was all right, and then he bought Twitter, and then it shone right to the surface how much of a big old twat he is.
If he just didn't if he just never said anything online,
Yeah.
people would just dick ride him the rest of his life.
Yeah. They would think he was really smart.
But he just can't stop himself, can he?
Honestly, I don't understand. If I had so much money, I would just buy a company. I'd go, look, you carry on as is. You've done well. I just get some of your profits. I'm at the top. You can carry on as you are. I just want the asset. Like, it'll make and I'll go, I'm not going to do any fucking work. I'm going to go enjoy my life. See ya. I wouldn't get involved. I just let them carry on. I'd let them go about their business, but I've just bought them. I don't know why people don't do that.
The branding for Twitter is so insane as well. Like, what do you call posting on Facebook? Posting.
A post.
Yeah.
You know, what do you call post on YouTube? Posting a video. What do you call post on Twitter? Tweeting.
You tweet.
It like has one of the most strongest branding. What are we gonna call it now?
Xing.
Exit.
I'm gonna X.
Boys are
Nothing.
just boys are just X'd.
Fucking scissoring. Like.
It really does.
Read my X's, boys.
Mate, it sounds awful.
Can't wait to X
Oh,
myself.
joy.
Oh,
He literally got given. I don't know about a profitable app, but the app itself, he didn't really need to do that much.
No.
All he had to do was just try and make it profitable.
and he just made
I
it
think
worse.
Twitter
and worse.
already was, wasn't it?
Nah.
No, so
I never
it's
was.
one of the ones. I don't think he's ever made a profit.
Oh.
And it's crazy because they don't have to make any content for it. They, literally, the users make the content and you don't pay them for it.
Yeah.
You
Except
could've-
now he does.
I'm pretty sure he could have just
For like 20 people.
introduced like ads into it, and it probably would have sorted it.
No, it was already ads.
There's already ads.
I swear
and-
the ads
But
got
like
more
they've gone a
before
lot
he
more
got there.
aggressive now. Like it
Yeah.
could have quite literally just like had a little tweak, being like, okay, make this profitable, and then that's it. keep it going.
I like the small thing I hate about the Twitter. I guess is X blue now.
Yeah.
It's like I just look at my own stuff. I look at my tweets. I look at my replies, and it's highlights. And it's like, oh, you can't have a highlight unless you got blue. Well, don't show me it then.
They're advertising it to you, though, aren't they?
They could have.
Ooh, I want blue.
They could have quite easily just made, like, kept the verified thing as it was, and then just had like an added thing and being like, look, if you want to support it, you can pay extra to get a badge, and that's it. Then they could have released different badges. They could have had all this just as like a, you know, a thing to boost a bit of revenue to try and make it a bit better. That's all you needed. You didn't need to fucking rebrand. Like, Twitter is, in my opinion, out of the 3 different social medias that are there, like, you know, for us anyway, Facebook, Twitter, and I can't even think of the third. I mean, it's basically Facebook at that
I thought
point. But
Instagram kind of died a bit.
essentially.
Instagram?
No, it's huge,
No,
mate.
it's like the
fucking massive.
biggest one.
Oh no, I'm thinking.
Like-
It died in your eyes, but
think
it's
I-
still fucking huge.
I think I'm thinking of Tumblr.
Oh, yeah, that's long gone.
Out of the 3
yeah, they
of
banned
them.
porn.
Yeah, it was a downfall.
Too late when they brought it
Yeah,
back.
that was big.
Did they bring back porn? They did, didn't they? Right?
It
Probably.
may have been too little, too late.
I think it might have been too late.
I think out of the 3 of them, Twitter is the most, or it had the best reputation,
It did,
like originally.
because like
People-
no one trusted Facebook really.
No, not at all.
no one still
Like,
does.
if he adds the ability to, like, I don't know, what does he want to do? Like, bank in with Twitter?
Yeah. So
Yeah, no
ultimately,
chance.
everything where, so you know, like WhatsApp, so you would use Twitter as WhatsApp, you know, like Apple Pay, like on your phone, like you'd pay stuff with X or whatever it's going to be called.
Nah.
So lots of stuff.
Nah.
No?
Hold on, mate. I just need to get my X app up.
We lost Stan.
We lost Stan.
Is it not plugged in?
Bye guys.
You can come sit on my lap. We'll show a camera.
No, that's okay.
Sure.
Reddit story time. All right. Yesterday, my parents sat me, 31-year-old male, my 2 brothers, 32 male, 34 male, and my sister, 41 female, down to discuss their will. My parents informed us that they want to split it 5 ways. My sister gets 2/5, while the 3 of us get 1/5 each. The reason is my sister sacrificed her childhood for our family, so it's only fair she gets compensated. Okay. In our childhood, my father's business partner screwed him over, so there was a period where we were broken in debt. My parents had to work multiple jobs to keep us afloat, and my sister babysat us while our parents worked. All she had to do was feed us and keep an eye on us. We were pretty calm kids, so all we did was play games and do our homework. It probably wasn't filling, but not exactly a tremendous hardship. I complained to my parents along with my brothers that it's insane they want to give my sister 2/5 of the inheritance over that, especially since she's finally financially the best off out of all of us. She doesn't have any kids, a dual income with her partner. My parents said they're disappointed in us and said we need to reflect on ourselves. My sister didn't say shit while my parents spoke, but texted us afterwards that she had zero intention of taking 2/5, but we were all assholes. I'm an asshole for feeling like the split is unfair. Personally, I don't think parents owe kids shit. Like, have you seen like the average cost it is to bring up a child?
It's a lot.
Wasn't it like over the course of 18 years that it can cost you something like 250,000 or even more
It's
than that?
Something stupid.
It's
like that.
it's a stupid amount of money. And I think what's happening more now is, so people live longer, but like their health slowly deteriorates. So you end up having, you know, if you have like care homes or medical bills and stuff like that, a lot of times now people have to use all their like what would be like retirement money for having fun just to stay alive, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't expect anything from my mum or my family. Like, it's their money. They brought me up. I survived and I'm alive because of my parents. Well, parent. They can keep it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, this guy is basically having a fucking a tiffy, going like, no, I want a big payout when you die.
Yeah, I think the main thing there, which I thought was quite bad, is so we don't know the age of the sister
We do.
when she
Oh.
had when she had to look after the kids. But it's saying, oh, all she had to do was like look after us, make us food. Yeah, basically, you know, parent them, right? But if they were like at any age, that's sacrificing a lot of time, right?
I mean,
A good chunk, yeah.
she would have had to have at least been 10 to have to look after all 3 of them at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
The thing is,
like,
right?
that's a lot of work.
He goes on about like they were broke and in debt, so we didn't have a lot. But like, I don't think he's getting what they're saying. Like, there's a difference between not having a lot. Like, I didn't have like all the consoles that everyone had when I was younger. the PC I had was this really old Dell one, and we had to get like a second-hand graphics card that we hoped worked in the PC so that I could play a 3D game for the first time on a PC. But that's not the same as your sister caring for people.
Yeah.
You know, they still had their free time. They just didn't have as much. Their sister didn't have free time because she had to look after them.
Yeah. Which is why I think personally, well, at least with the information there,
dude
it
is
sounds like a massive arsehole.
Dickhead.
Yeah.
Is like a dickhead of the highest.
And you know the
quality.
sister,
Fuck, I just dropped through everywhere.
you know the sister was brought up well
Yeah.
and is a generally good person because she still isn't going to take the 2/5.
Yeah. And that's the other bit, right? They haven't even waited for like the sister's response. So like the way I would take it is like the parents have decided that's what they want to do, right? Now it sounds like the sister was going to go, actually, I am in a good financial position, so I won't take that cut. But they haven't even waited for that. They've instantly gone, nah, this is shit.
Yeah,
this is unfair.
they're like,
Give
when
me more money."
you croak, I want to make bag.
Yeah. So,
yeah, this dude's just a self-entitled
Dickhead.
Yeah.
asshole.
What was the outcome?
Oh, on Reddit,
Yeah.
most people said arsehole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Stan, I think it
Yeah,
sounds like
no,
you
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
It makes you
No, I
worry
agree,
that
asshole,
some people
like-
didn't think he was an arsehole.
Yeah. No. This was, I mean, I only
Overwhelming.
scrolled by like the first like 10 comments or whatever, and they were all like, you're an asshole, basically. There is one more. Do you want to do it or do you want to
Yeah,
stop?
fuck yeah, let's do more.
It's a little longer, but sorry.
Oh, just a little bit.
Is that a top?
Yeah.
My folks decided to host a barbecue because I guess that's what all the people do. Oh, fuck you.
A strong start.
I declined because I really don't like my two sisters, their husbands, or their kids. Jesus Christ.
This sounds like a happy
Fucking
family.
hell.
Oh, geez.
Mom then pressured the wife. Long story short, we went. By the time we arrived, there were about 20 people there. My sisters and their husbands were already solidly buzzed, drunk, really. My mom was spending 100% of her time trying to keep the nieces and nephews aged 7 to 11 more or less under control. My dad had strategically retreated to the whirlpool part of the pool with small cooler full of beers. Wife and I made small talk with miscellaneous people, ate food and had a frozen margarita. Sisters and brothers-in-laws took turns criticizing us for being late, not being in our swimsuits and screwing up the vibe, whatever. Typical suburban summer get together. He's not selling this well. About 45 minutes in, two of the kids ran at one of the neighbor guests who was standing next to the pool and pushed her in. She was at the pool steps, stumbling, but didn't fall, so only got half wet. She was clearly very unhappy about it, but she didn't make a scene. Just went over to where the parents were, grabbed the towels, dried herself off, and left. Sisters and brother-in-laws thought it was all great fun. A bit later, I was standing a few feet away from the pool, chatting away with someone. I saw three of the kids running full tilt at me at the corner of my eye. Obviously, I was next. Not that it's terribly difficult to outwit young kids, but I just bumped out of the way at the last second. All three of them ran straight into the pool at full speed. Most of the other guests, including my wife and me, started laughing, but their moms, who, as I mentioned, were pretty shit-faced, absolutely freaked out. Apparently, two of the kids couldn't even swim, even though they were in swimsuits. Since I wasn't in swim gear, I stepped back from the pool and let other people fish the kids out. The kids were bawling their heads off like they lost a limb. At that point, all hell broke loose. The four drunk parents were yelling at everyone in general, and me in particular, for nearly letting their kids drown. And also because two of the kids had been videoing the trick using their parents' iPhones, which were now at the bottom of the pool. One of my brother-in-laws got in the pool to try to retrieve the phones, but his BMI and BAC made that impossible. His what?
Is he saying he's fat?
He's fat, yeah.
Oh my God.
Is that what he's saying?
I think
don't know
he's
what
saying
BAC
I don't know what.
is,
Yeah,
though.
I don't know what BAC is, but BMI is like
body
mass
something.
index.
Yeah, body mass
Yeah.
index. Okay. No one else volunteered to help. Unsurprising, given that my sisters were still bitching at everyone. I told my sisters it was their job to watch their kids, and that if anything had happened to them, it would have been their responsibility, not mine. There were some pretty strong words on both sides. Wife and I left after the other brother-in-law fell over and face planted while yelling at us. Now they're saying I should have let the little shits knock me into the pool and have their fun and ruin my phone. So I'm an asshole. Everyone sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? The problem is with this guy, right? He didn't do anything wrong. But the more he talked, the more I thought he was.
Yeah.
He was very much an ass of how he described it, but I don't necessarily feel like it was his fault for getting out of the way.
I'll be honest though, like if if some kids did fall in the pool and I was laughing, and then someone went, they can't swim, I remember like, okay, I'm gonna come get you in.
Yeah, I'd try and help them. Yeah. But
This guy was like, drown.
I think that's the the thing. Like, it is definitely the parents' initially responsibility to look after the kids. And at the end of the day, if the kids are pushing people in the pool and they're not fond of it, I mean, you should be like, get your kids to pipe down and like
really
bring them
be
in,
doing
right?
that.
After the first person like went in and wasn't happy and had to leave, then at that point you go, okay,
Shouldn't be
we
doing
need
it.
to
Yeah.
avoid.
Yeah.
But right, if it's it sounds like this is all family event, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even need to be family. If kids go in the pool and they're struggling, you help them regardless.
them.
You don't
Yeah.
just be like,
Yeah.
they're not my kids. It's not my responsibility.
Aye.
The fucking kids drowning, like, you help them.
Like it literally sounds like the entire family are assholes.
They all hate each
They
other.
come from money, right? Because they got a whirlpool in their pool, right?
Yeah.
For fucking never had a pool. And then obviously as a result of his upbringing, he's become this entitled little dickhead, essentially. The fact that he can be like, I mean, if your kids drown, it's not my responsibility, shows he has zero empathy for anyone.
Yeah.
But like, if he had just cut that down a bit and left his sassiness out of there, you might have been able to be
Yeah.
like, you're not an arsehole, but he sounds like an arsehole.
Most of what he said is not really a problem.
Yeah.
But the way he said it is 100% it. Especially he tried to get the phone, but he was so fat he couldn't get him. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's
Like,
so out of
The
left
fact he
field.
was like, oh, they wanted to get their phones, but his BMI and BAC made that impossible.
Yeah, it's like that's
That's-
What the fuck is BAC?
you don't. That wasn't needed.
Yeah, it is brutal. So
I'm gonna look up BAC.
the thing is this whole thing could have been done in a paragraph, right?
Oh, yeah, just
like,
about.
they're bad.
I mean, like, not an asshole for getting out of the way of
blood
the
alcohol
children.
content.
Okay.
So he's saying he's fat and drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Not an asshole for dodging, but an asshole for not helping the kid get
Yeah.
out of the pool when they can't swim.
Well, like, what was the consensus of this? Everyone sucks?
I think there was a lot of saying they weren't an asshole for like moving out of the way of the kids, but I don't think there was much consensus on like the rest of it. There was actually a lot of comments being like, my life is to be like the dad, which sounds like the dad was the guy in the whirlpool who just ignored everyone. So people were like, the dad is the one. Like, they were like,
It's essentially the dad knows his family are arseholes.
Yeah.
So whenever there's a family gathering, he's like, I'm going to relax in the
Yeah.
pool, stay out of it.
I'm gonna chill here and just ignore everyone.
But I don't know. For anyone saying like he's not an arsehole is a Reddit moment. That's a big old fucking Reddit moment.
Yeah.
There's degrees to it.
It's one of those
right?
things. It's like, "Hey, you can't be in trouble for if kids drown. It's not your responsibility. So it's
Yeah.
Reddit moment.
Okay, she stopped there.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think we can top that one.
Yeah, we can't top that.
Cheers for watching, everyone. Yeah, hopefully see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Do we get to say bye as well?
Yeah, go on then.
As it looks
All
at
right,
me.
you're still on the wrong camera,
Yeah,
man.
but he's gonna say bye.
Is it?
He did say bye.
Yeah, but I
already
missed
said
him.
bye. Oh,
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.